And now, Journey to Success with Pete ASMUS. Tonight, mindset to action steps and everything in between. We are about you, focusing on what you need to get to that next level. So get ready, get excited, because we are about to get started. From coast to coast, your host, Pete Pitbull ASMUS. That's how I always feel things are going to happen, right? Like the moment something happens, I just feel like it's going to get, something's going to go wrong. So, welcome everybody. I don't know how, that was a weird intro. Welcome everybody. Today is June 8th. Golly, I cannot believe the 6 months of the year gone. And this is Journey to Success with Pete ASMUS. I am your host, Pete ASMUS, and I'm going to be here all night long. We're going to be having a great time. Plan on being here with me for the next, I don't know, anywhere from 90 minutes, an hour to 2 hours is about how long I go. And the reason is because I just want to get everything out. So if I'm thinking about something, if I'm feeling something, I'm going to just keep talking about it. I've got a lot of cool things that we're going to be talking about tonight. There's a lot of new things happening. So I'm excited for this, and I'm excited for where we're going to be going. With that said, I want to go ahead and get this party started. Tonight is Putting It All Together, Chapter 9 of my book, Force Your Dreams into Reality. I wrote that first book. It's an ebook, all right? It's only 40 pages. If you guys have not read that yet, go get it. It's absolutely free. Go to c2crea.com right now. Right over there on the right side, you're going to see download my ebook, Force Your Dreams into Reality. You click on that, enter your information, it'll get emailed right to you. Super easy. It's just like that. Now, the reason that that's important is because one of the reasons we started doing this webinar, Journey to Success, was it's all about mindset, right? And yeah, strategies are important. And yes, how you're going to get there and what you're going to do to get there, those are important. But the reality is there's going to be so many objections, so many obstacles that are going to come your way when you're doing this, when you're getting started, that meant that the mentality part, the mental side of this is 90% of it in the beginning. It isn't until you start having a system down that now it becomes a system because you've already worked through all of the roadblocks, right? But we forget about that. What is it that we do? We as humans, we get excited, right? We want change. We want something new. We want something this way, that way. And so we get all jacked up. We get excited. We get all amped up. We're throwing our hands in the air because just like we don't care, right? And then as soon as something gets challenging, we're out. We're gone. Well, why? Why is it that we're gone at that point? Why is it when things get challenging, we run and hide? Why is it that when anything gets difficult to do, the first thing that we look for is, okay, well, how can I get immediate gratification? How can I get immediate satisfaction, right? What I'm doing right now is not making me happy. What I'm doing right now is challenging. It's this, it's that. I'm not getting to see my family. I'm not getting to sleep. I'm not getting to whatever it is that you want to throw in there as far as an excuse goes. That's what you come out with, right? And you're not looking at the fact that it doesn't matter. All of that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what challenges come up. It doesn't matter what issues come up. It doesn't matter. Any of that doesn't matter because the reality is it's going to take you getting through it. Are you willing to go through it? And if you are, then if you're willing to push yourself through it, then stop giving up once it gets difficult. I hear people saying, I know this, man. I mean, there are days when I don't want to do my video. We do a daily motivational video every single morning, right? And there are some days where it's like, man, I've got so much to do. This is just not something I want to do. But I made a commitment to my girls, to me, even more than to you guys. It was to me. I would do this. And so I do it. Unless there's a day where something, unless I physically cannot do it because there's too many things in the way. I'm not going to wake my girls up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do a video, right? Because I've got to leave at 4. That just doesn't make sense. So at those points, okay. If you are on a phone or it's got to be whoever's on the phone, mute yourself, please. Because I can hear you. And I don't want to be able to hear you because it's going to be distracting to me. So please either mute your phone or get on the, I can hear you talking. Thank you. So the reality, I don't even know where I was now. What was I talking about? Man. Are the slides supposed to be showing? They should be showing, Jonathan. Can you not see the slides? Is that what you're saying? Can you guys not see the screen with putting it all together right now? You see them. Okay, you see them all. Right. You're not seeing them individually. I mean, I can do that. I suppose if I want to go like that, is that what you mean? I mean, I can do it like that. I don't have any notes on the bottom or anything. I guess if that's distracting, we can go that route. So today is all about putting it all together. Today is all about all the pieces that we talked about, from passion to belief to strategy to focus to consistency. All of those things wrapped together. Those are all going to be what we're going to be talking about tonight. In addition, we've now added another webinar. I've added a webinar now to Friday nights as well, and I'll be showing you guys that one later later on in the lineup. The Friday night webinar is going to be for women in real estate. So it's really going to be focused on women, entrepreneurship, and real estate. Candace Duran is going to be hosting that and basically going to be bringing women on. It's going to be cool. I wanted to do something different. Basically, I want every night of the week for you guys to be able to tune into something that has to do with C2C, something that has to do with making your guys' life better. I want to provide more, give more. So that's what we're doing. You guys obviously know over here in the questions bar, if you guys have any questions, you can ask them away. Realize though that whatever you write, I will just start reading it out loud. Okay. So make sure that whatever you write, you're okay with everybody reading. Otherwise email me privately, and you can email me at pete@c2creia.com. That's Pete that's Pete at the number 2. Okay. Then C2C REIA C the number 2 CREIA.com. And I can answer any of those stuff too. So going through tonight, we're going to be going on. I wanted to show you guys real quick the challenge. Actually, why is that there? That shouldn't be there right now. Let's move that past. There we go. Journey to Success. It's every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Tonight, we're going to be finishing up or wrapping up the last basically 10 weeks. We've been talking about Force Your Dreams into Reality. Next week, we're going to be starting off with the next book, Questions Are the Key to Unlocking Your Reality. All right. So this book was really the what. What do you need to do? All right. And then the questions, that's the how. How do you do it? Because what I realized, especially through Mike Jensen, is that this book was great about showing you what you needed to do. But if you didn't know how to get passion, well, I mean, what does that mean? It's like saying, okay, well, hey guys, to buy this house, you need 10 grand. And you're going, great. Now where do I get the 10 grand? Right? That's kind of what this was for some people, if you didn't have some of the resources that I refer to. So the next book that I'm writing, and it's almost done, it's actually done now. I'm actually putting in editor's notes as we speak. So I wanted to, with this book, I wanted to do something a little bit different. Where I wrote each chapter, I wanted the editor to write kind of what she went through as she was editing that part of the book, right? As she was coming through. And man, I read the intro's editor notes, and it blew me away. I mean, it literally blew me away, because so often I would love to hear your guys' input on what I do and how does it really affect your life, right? Because the one thing I don't know is, I don't know if you started doing the dry erase task, right? And so you're writing up the dry erase. If you're not going, hey man, you will not believe what happened to me. If you're not saying that to me, then I don't know. There's a lot of things that I don't know. I don't know how it's affecting you in a positive way. I don't know what different things it's doing. So this was the first time where it was almost like I got to look through somebody else's eyes at how I affected them and impacted them. And for me, that was insane. I mean, it was really cool what she wrote. Even down to, man, I wonder if I could find that real quick. I'll see what I can do about pulling that up. Come on, man. Because when I wrote this, I don't think a lot of you guys understand how big of an impact you can have, even though you don't do a lot, right? There it is. Okay. So, it's pretty cool when you start to read and you start to realize how you've impacted somebody else's life. And I want to share this with you. So here is the editor notes off of her intro into the book, Questions Are the Key to Unlocking Your Reality. I still remember the phone call that started it all. I had recently been introduced to Pete over Facebook and had been following his posts for a little bit, and was impressed with how upbeat and positive he was. I loved seeing the videos and listened to a few of the webinars, but that was it. He was just an item on my news feed. And then she says, back up, let me tell you. So she had been through a lot of different things in her life, right? So she kind of goes into what those different things are, and basically said, I had to get it slapped in the face, and I had to change my life. I started to blog, started getting to look outside and taking up new hobbies, and started losing weight, recognizing that the most central theme of this book, nothing will change for the better unless you make it happen. And as she goes through this part, she talks about how reaching out and getting to know me, and how that impacted her life and changed her life, and how she couldn't believe that when she wrote me and asked me a question, that I actually called her back, right? And I said, hey, let me know, give me a call. And if you guys are interested in reading it, I mean, obviously, I'm hoping you guys are going to be interested in reading the whole book. But if you want to read that a little sooner, let me know, and I'll go ahead and send it to you. I don't want to take up the time with reading it right now, or reading the whole thing. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because there's so many of you guys right now that are on the cusp of feeling like you can do something great. You're on the cusp of feeling like you want to move the needle and do something amazing. And you just need that push. I'm going to tell you right now, reach out to me. Let me know what it is that you want to do. Start writing down your goals. Start impacting your life. And the best way to impact your life is to give yourself a direction. I mean, so many times we want more, right? But then what are you willing to do to get it? What are you guys willing to do? Honestly, close your eyes and think about this. What are you willing to do to go out and get your dreams? Most of you don't even know. Well, I don't know. I would be willing to do this, or I would be willing to do, I don't know, maybe this. But you don't have a specific thing you're willing to do. You don't have, and I don't mean it has to be specific per se, but what I do mean is when you guys are moving forward, when you're designing your life, you have to be willing to give up everything to make it happen. I know what I just said is rough, and it's not what anybody wants to hear. I got to be what? I got to be willing to give up my whole life? Yes. In some facet, yes. Because otherwise, your whole life is going to keep getting in the way of what you want. What do I mean? How many times have you been offered to do something and you're like, well, I would, but. You need to start removing the buts. Start removing all of the reasons that you can't get where you want to go. Because the reality is you are the gatekeeper. You're the gatekeeper on your life. Do you realize that? You are the gatekeeper, meaning you can go in whatever direction that you want to go as long as you will start moving in that direction. I posted something today that said sometimes the smallest step can make the most significant impact in your life, but you have to keep moving step forward. Tiptoe if you must. Tiptoe if you must. A lot of times when we get overwhelmed, right? We start to become overwhelmed by all these things that are happening in our life. And what I'm telling you is that you must be willing to shatter who you are for who you want to become. Look, becoming overwhelmed is a great thing. Why? Why would becoming overwhelmed be a great thing? Because when you're overwhelmed, you're pushing yourself past your boundaries. The reason we're overwhelmed is because we're doing more than we've ever done. Because think about this, right? The first time you drove a car, were you freaking out? Were you like, oh my gosh, okay, look left, look right. I got to turn this. I got to make sure no cars are coming over there. I got to make sure no cars are coming over. I mean, you're focused on a million different things. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. The more comfortable you get, the more you're able to do them simultaneously without focusing on them. They start to become second nature. You guys need to realize that you need to make growing, becoming overwhelmed, second nature, that it's okay when it happens. Here's what happens. When you become overwhelmed, you get up here, right? And what typically people do is they get overwhelmed like this and they go, forget it. I can't do this. This is crazy. And boom, they drop all the way down to zero. And now 3 weeks later, when they decide to get their life back in order again, and now they want to get back into this, right? It's like, oh man, I got to start from the beginning again. And so they start again. And then they start going up, right? And then all of a sudden something bad happens, wham, right down to the ground again. And now when they start to come back up, they're like, this is crazy, man. I keep trying to do this over and over and over again, and I keep failing. It's not worth doing. Yeah. 2 reasons. 1, you keep trying. You haven't burned your bridge. You haven't flipped the switch. You haven't decided that is what you're going to do. And number two, the reality is you keep starting, you get way up here, and then you quit, and it drops all the way to the ground again. What you need to do is when it gets overwhelming, hold. Keep in a holding pattern. All right? Let it get crazy. Let it get crazy. And then work it out. Work it out so that when that 3-week time frame comes and you're ready to get back up again, you're not starting from the ground. You're actually starting from where you left off. You've been holding it. You've been keeping it in a holding pattern the whole time. So when you're ready, you jump off again and you take off. But that's not what we do, is it? What we do is we give up. We stop. We say it's too hard. We say it's too this, it's too that. What we don't realize is that we control everything. Whatever it is that you really want to do, you're doing. Now, you're going to say, well, that's not true. I don't want to be working. Okay, great. Well, neither did Kenneth. And guess what? Kenneth isn't going to be working in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday, Kenneth will be done. Why? Because he made a commitment and he started. He created an environment and he believed in himself enough that he said, I'm done. And because of it, he's gotten more opportunities have come his way. So the thing is, whatever you're getting right now, you're accepting, you're wanting. If you really, really, really don't want what you're doing right now, if you really hate your job and you really, really don't want to be at your job, you wouldn't be there. Because I'll tell you, if where you worked every day you came in and somebody hit you with a 2x4 and then they blew up your car every day, like you'd quit. You'd quit because it would be too painful, right? So if I hear, well, yeah, I know, Pete, but I got to make money. Okay, well, find another way to make money. Well, I don't know how to make it. Then find one. Yeah, but I don't know how. I didn't say I knew how. I didn't say you knew how. I said find one. Find a different passion. Find a different way to make money. Find a way to make money by doing what you love. What is it that you love? Start doing Venn diagrams, right? You know what the Venn diagrams are, where this circle's here and this circle's here and where they overlap, right? How do I do this? Where they, there we go. Where they overlap, right? That sucked even more, but where they overlap is the idea, okay? So what is it that you love doing, and what will people pay you to do, and what would you do all the time? And where all those things intersect, that's something that you should look into. If you don't have any idea, friend me on Facebook and hit me up. Talk to me. I'll work it out with you. I love doing this kind of stuff because to me, I want to impact the world. I want to impact 10,000 people in 2014. It means I got 6 months left to hit that number. So believe me when I say I'm willing to help you. I want to help you. I want to help you get to the next level of you. I want to help you get to where you want to go. But that's going to take you shattering who you are for who you want to become. What does that mean? That means it's going to take you staying up late. It's going to take you getting 5 hours of sleep sometimes instead of 8. It's going to take you not seeing your family sometimes instead of playing with them. It's going to take you starting to become creative, becoming a creative problem solver. That's what you need to do. You need to start realizing that this is your life. Nobody is going to take the wheel. You've got it. If you put that bad boy on autopilot, nobody is steering it. Not even you. There is no autopilot for your life. Autopilot is just the plane going down. That's it. Because autopilot means you're not focusing on anything. It means you're not doing anything. It means you're just surviving. And if you're just surviving, you're going backwards. Because just surviving isn't growing. That's like saying, well, I have $100 in my account, so woo, I'm good. $100 is going to be worth $100 in 10 years. No, it won't. It won't. Take $100 in 1990 and see what that would buy you compared to now. Let's just take it for gas. What was gas in 1990 compared to now? Everything goes up. So if you're not moving forward, you are moving backwards. If you're not making more money, then you're losing money. Regardless if you still have that $100 bill and you're like, you don't understand. This is still a $100 bill. Yes, but you cannot buy as much with it now as you could 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, right? And guess what? It's not going to change. This whole cycle doesn't change. In 10 years, it will be worth less. So if you want to change your life, start changing now. Start changing your life now. Start looking at your life. How can you solve other people's problems to solve yours? What issues do you have? A lot of people will say, well, I need more money. Okay, great. Well, how can you solve other people's problems to make more money? Because think about it. That's really what you do to make money, right? You've got to solve somebody else's problem to make money. If you sell cars, you got to sell the car. That's solving their problem. They don't have a car. If you sell insurance, if you're a CPA, if you're an attorney, if you're whatever, you're solving problems. Okay, but that's a big way to look at it. Let's take another way. I want you to start also focusing on solving problems that are smaller, that aren't the bigger. Like, think about, hey, one of the things that I want to do is I want to impact the world. That's a problem I want to solve, right? So what I've got to do is look at how can I solve that through other people? What are problems that I can solve that other people have? So I started looking at, I don't see a lot of webinars or real estate information and training based and directed towards women, right? And it just isn't. So I started a webinar now on Friday nights that is all focused on it's just for women. And I'm not doing it, obviously. I'm having somebody else do it. But that's a problem. Now, I'm not making any money off of it right now. But if I can get other women, like, I really want to push single moms, man. I have this affinity that I really want to help single moms. I think it's partially because, like, when my son, when he had some challenges and he was with his mom, and the guy that she was with, he didn't like Sage at all. He was saying, we're going to ship him off here and this and that. And I told her, I said, look, you're going to have to get away from him. Like, he is bad news. And if you don't, I'm going to have to, like, go and do something about this. And she goes, I'd love to, but I can't, because I can't afford to live without him. Like, I can't afford to leave. And that statement is still burned in my brain. I mean, and it was my ex-wife. Like, I wasn't even with her anymore, but I couldn't stand that was holding her back. And so that's one of my missions. I want to help single mom. Whoever's got the phone, please mute the phone. Please stop making noise, because it's distracting to me. So whatever the women are, so I wanted to help focus on helping women. I want to help single moms. There are properties out there right now. There are deals out there. Single moms could drive around with their kids in the car, right? Obviously not like 15 of them, but let's say she's a single mom. She's got a 2-month-old. She could definitely drive around, find houses that we're looking for. They could get on the phone. They could be on the internet. They could do all kinds of stuff to research properties for us. So I want to create opportunities and help them. I want to create opportunities and turn them into moguls, turn them into real estate. Look, there's a ton of different ways you can make money. It's just real estate's the way that I know how to do it, right? And it's the easiest way that I know how to do it. It still takes a ton of work, but man, I wouldn't want to go and start a restaurant, right? That to me is just scary. Going and buying a property when you have a great team behind you, that isn't scary. So I want to create environments that we can create success, that we can have opportunities that will be successful for them. That's one of the reasons I have Scott Travis doing the Monday night webinars now for bird dogging opportunities. And it's funny, I saw something last week where somebody said, it looks like you're pitching, and now I understand what they were meaning. They just meant it sounded like I was pitching the other webinars. And I want you to know I am definitely doing that, because this webinar is just about mindset. This webinar, I don't go over any strategies except strategies on how to get your mind correct, right? But Monday nights, Scott will definitely go over different strategies for finding properties. Ivan does the money on Money Matters on Thursday nights, right? On Tuesdays, we have Experts Corner. And in fact, this Tuesday, I'm going to be interviewing Candace and talking about what she's going to be doing on our very first webinar on Friday night. So make sure you check out all of them, because really we're putting all these webinars. I want to have every day of the week, you're able to come to something. Wednesdays is our live events. So that one's off the board. So now we've got Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday covered. I mean, we have your week handled. Sundays covered. So really the only day now that we don't have something is on Saturdays. And that day I'm going to keep open, because I've got to have some family day that I can count on. I don't have anything to do except for my daily motivational videos. So I overwhelm my life. I infuse a ton of things to do. I mean, and I keep coming up with more and more and more, and I get more people involved, and I keep doing it because I want to be overwhelmed. I want to push myself past limits, past barriers that I've made for myself. I want to show myself how incredible this can be. Our 21-day challenge, right? This is now in Australia. It's in America. So we're now in 2 different countries, and I think it's in Mexico, but I'm not sure. So I'm not going to even say that one. But I want to be in 10 countries by the end of this month, right? And the reason is because I know that this is changing lives. It's changing the way people do things. It's changing the way they start to look at themselves and what they think is possible. It's changing their life. If I want to impact 10,000 people, I've got to figure out how to get this out there to impact more. And it's so simple. It doesn't cost you, it doesn't cost anything. It's absolutely free. All you do is go to c2cria.com/21-day challenge. You go on there, you write down your goals in a notebook every single morning. Then you tag me, you tag them, you hashtag it. And then you write down, I'm sorry, I somebody was talking again or something in the background. It's just killing me. I do not understand why. Whoever is on the phone, can you please mute your phone? Just mute it. Just go on there and mute it. So that way I can't hear whatever it is that you're doing, moving your hands or anything. Just mute the phone. All you got to do is go on the phone and mute it. It's that easy. Just mute it. Mute your phone, please. So 21-day challenge. You go on there. You can sign up for it. All you're going to do is write 5 goals per category. A community category, a business category, and a personal category. It's that simple, right? And you're just writing 5 sentences. Now, I see a lot of people writing, I will, I wish, I hope, whatever. No, stop. That's not what you do. You write them as if they've already happened. You write, okay, whoever's on the phone, please just hang up. Just hang up then. If you can't mute the phone or don't know how to mute the phone, please just hang up and get on to the webinar because it's driving me crazy. All right? Thank you. 21-day challenge, 5 goals. Community goals are super easy. 1 sentence. All you got to do is write I have. Write I have instead of I will. I have 5 properties. I have flipped 5 properties this year. I have blank whatever this year. This whatever. Whatever it is that your goals are, right? I don't know what your specific goals are, but write them as if they've happened. Don't write them as if you want to do them because you're still putting it out there and making it far away. Write them as if you have already completed them because in your mind, what it does is it starts to change things and you start to feel, well, I've already done it. If I've already done it, then I got to make sure I do it. It's the weirdest thing. And you start to focus on it more and more. And then you start to envision, what would it be like if it was done? How would that make me feel? And as that starts to happen, it starts to release endorphins in us and it starts to really change. Hold on here. Man. It starts to really change the way that we start to look at everything that we're doing. All right. So write down your goals past tense as if they've already happened, or present tense affirmative is what Ivan likes to say. Right. So it's as if you're doing them. You're currently doing them, right? Like I blank every day. That would be present tense affirmative. Right. So if one of your, like somebody had a challenge where they said, I don't cry as much anymore. It was something like that. And it was like, no, I don't cry anymore. I don't cry anymore, period. That's what you want. You don't want it to be as much. You don't want it to be anything else because you want it to make sure that whatever that was, right? And if it was, I don't cry anymore. Look, I don't cry anymore because I'm over it. Give yourself a reason because I don't cry anymore because I'm over it. I don't this anymore because I've handled it. Whatever your challenge is, and I'm not talking about anything specific. So this is really difficult right now for me to just kind of run off the bat. Run off the bat. I have no idea what that meant either. All right. Let me see real quick. Let me see if we've got any questions. Let's see. I will be on Friday, but I don't go back till oh wait, I don't know what that meant. Business call real quick. Okay. All right, I don't know what that meant. If you guys have any questions, though, please make sure right over there on the right side, you can write down your questions and get them to me. At the end, I'll also be having a section so you guys can raise your hand too. And then I will unmute you and you guys will be able to ask your questions. All right. So cool. Let's keep going. Here is the challenge. Super easy. All you got to do is hit that blue button, join. And it has the whole explanation of exactly what to do when you go to c2crea.com/21-day challenge, just like right here. So the bottom line is, are you willing to take your life to the next level? Are you willing to stop just listening to me and start becoming active? Are you willing to start engaging and participating in your life? Because that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about taking your life to that next level, right? And the only way to do that is if you start writing your goals down, start becoming accountable. And not only that, it was awesome. I got this email from Gary, and he goes, you were right. I was kind of unsure about posting up my goals. And he said, the first day I did it, within hours, I already had support coming back telling me how incredible it was. So if you guys have not done this yet, please just do it once. Write down your goals and put them out there. See what happens. See if what you're so worried about, see if that happens, or see if something completely different happens that actually helps you and takes your life to the next level. Because I promise you, what you're afraid of happening, it isn't going to happen. What you don't think is going to happen and what you think isn't going to happen, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get supported. You're going to have people come out of the woodwork. I had somebody else that goes, I had somebody come and want to start helping me and mentoring me. Well, why? Why do you think that was? That was because they saw somebody putting their goals out there. They know that that's somebody they can affect. They know that that's somebody that's taking their life seriously. So if you really do want help, start writing your goals out. Start tagging people in it, right? If you wanted help from, let's say, I don't know, anybody, right? Let's say Ivan, you wanted Ivan's help on something and you tag, I'm in one of your goals, Ivan Oberon now helps me blank, blank, blank on this, right? Believe me, he's going to see that and then reach out and go, what do you mean? How can I help you? Because I want to help you. I want to be part of that. I want to help complete those goals that you have. All of us do. Scott, myself, everybody, we want to help you. So allow us that opportunity, right? Allow us the ability to really be something more to you. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So goals are the blocks that support your success. We talked a lot about that. You can have goals 12 weeks. In fact, I'm just going to erase that one. I don't even like that there anymore. We've already gone over that and there's no point in wasting any more time doing that one. But this one I still love. This is what most of you guys think. You guys think, oh my gosh, right? What do you mean change? Change is one of the hardest things for us to wrap our mind around. And the reason is we're afraid of the unknown, right? If I'm going to change, that means something different is going to happen. And I don't know what this different thing is. I don't know how it's going to affect my life. And so we get really scared and start pushing everything off and we go into shutdown mode, right? We go into blocking. I'm going to protect myself and make sure that nothing gets in and hurts me, right? And so I want to tell you guys that the only way for you to get where you want to go is to start changing. It's to start embracing that uncertainty. It's to start embracing the feeling of being overwhelmed, of being unsure, and going, look, the only way that I'm going to become sure about anything is through experience. And the only way for me to get experience is to actually do it. So I've got to get outside of my comfort zone. We had a task last week about inviting 2 people to the challenge. And I'm curious if anybody did that this week. And if you did, what your response was, what anybody said back to you. So if any of you guys did that, please let me know so I can ask you about it and see how it went. All right. With that, let's keep going. Steps to creating success. All right. So the first one we already know is the reason is you. You have to understand that in order to do anything, you're going to have to focus on you first. You're going to have to realize that anything that you want to do has to come from your heart, right? People want to quit smoking for this person or quit smoking for that person. They've got to quit smoking for them. Scott Travis is quitting chewing, right? It's a hard thing, but there's no way for him to quit for other people. He has to quit for himself. And that is what will drive the ability to do more. That's what's going to create the ability for him to quit. Because if he's only quitting for other people, it's just a matter of time before he starts doing it again, right? Does that make sense? That thing popped off. Okay. All right. So chapter 1 is passion. You have to have a passion for whatever it is that you're doing. If you don't have a passion for doing it, you're never going to do it, A, very well, and B, it's always going to be good enough. And good enough is never good for anything. In fact, Kanye would tell you that, right? What do you think, Kanye? Oh, I think, see, look at, man, right? How cool is the Kanye thing? I can do.
There we go. I was gonna do Scream because he gets really excited about stuff.
I don't know. I love voices. I love doing all these things, from the voice tags to the.
When we started from the bottom, now we're here.
Right. It's from the music. It's getting people into a different state of mind. It's almost like shocking them sometimes, right? Because you hear ba 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 too much, and then you're not paying attention. But then I hit you with
winning is not a sometime thing; it's an all the time thing. You don't win once in a while, and you don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit.
Winning's a habit. So if winning is a habit, this is the journey to success. Success is definitely winning. So that means success is a habit. So if success is a habit, what kind of habits do you guys have right now that are breeding success? Chances are the habits that you guys currently have aren't breeding success. They're breeding what you're getting right now, which isn't what you want, which means you've got to start doing things differently. Do you read every night? Do you guys read at least 10, 15 minutes a day? Something? If you don't, you need to start. Do you guys write your goals down every morning? Do you focus on what you want to get out of life? There's so many times that we look in every other direction besides us. We've got to have the belief. All right. You've got to believe in what you want to do. You've got to believe in the direction you're going. You've got to believe in what you want out of life. Why is it that you're going to do it if you don't even believe in it? Believe. Believe that you're amazing. Believe that you're incredible. I say this all the time when I'm talking to people, and I get a deer in headlights look a lot. Well, you don't really know me. No, I do. I do. I get it because I've been there. I've been the guy that was floating through life. I've been the guy that would go to the gym or put on iTunes or whatever. I would just escape. All I wanted to do was escape. I hated my life. I hated it. I hated my life. I hated what I was getting out of life. I hated everything about it, man. It just sucked. It totally sucked. My job sucked. My boss sucked. It just felt like my family life sucked. Like my wife, we were constantly fighting. It just felt like everything was so out of sync. And it wasn't until I started taking responsibility for where I was at, and I started going, you know what? If I want things to change, I've got to start changing them. If I want things to change, I've got to find a different way. I've got to find a different way right now. What can I do to be different? And I went back to the one thing I heard when I was a kid, Zig Ziglar, right? If you can help enough people find what they want, you'll get what you want, right? And I remember at 22 going, what the hell is he talking about, man? I'm 22. I don't know anything. How am I going to help anybody else get what they want? I don't know how to get what they want. I don't even know how to get what I want. So how can I help anybody else get what they want? And to some degree, I was right. I didn't know how to get what I wanted. I hadn't learned the value of creating relationships. I hadn't learned the value of people. And it wasn't until later, and I came upon this moment in life, and I was in a car, and I was in front of the gym. And I remember just feeling defeated. I mean, man, I was like, my daughter has alopecia. This is like right after I found this out. So she's bald now, completely bald. My son had cancer. Like, what is with this? Like, God must just hate me, man. Right? Everything I do, I keep doing everything I can to make it. And somebody always takes my legs out from under me right at the end. I build up this great thing, and then somebody comes along and screws me. I do this, and then I come do this, and then somebody, and I'm sitting in the car, and I'm like, man, I just want to die. Like, I'm done. I'm done. And I remember thinking, okay, well, I could drive up to this hill, and I could just go right off the end. I mean, because if I'm going to do this, I don't want to be messy, and I'm not gonna like cut my wrist or anything like that. Like, that's just not me. And so because I don't like pain or blood or knives or anything. So I remember just sitting there thinking, I've got 2 daughters and a son. Like, how selfish is this? And I'm like, and I remember talking to myself, and I'm like, well, yeah, but what the hell am I going to do? Like, I keep trying my ass off. I keep doing everything I can. And man, it just feels like somebody keeps hitting me in the face with a bat. What am I supposed to do? And I'm, well, what do you think you're supposed to do? Well, what do you mean, what do I think I'm supposed to do? I have no clue. I'm so pissed. And then I went back to, well, you've coached people, you've trained people. Why are you in this situation? And I kept saying, well, it's not my fault. I didn't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I didn't mean to do any of this. And then I said I did this, and then somebody else, and it was all of a sudden it clicked. And it was, I'm blaming other people. Yeah, I might have done a lot of great things, and somebody else might have done that, but whatever reason, even if I had zero control over it, if I accepted that I had zero control over it, I had no way to fix it. None. But if I said, you know what? I could have seen that earlier, or I could have seen this earlier, or I should have known this. I'm dumb. I made a mistake. And I could take that responsibility, as much as it would hurt sometimes. The reality is, once I started doing that, my life started changing. So as I'm sitting in the car, I'm sitting there going, okay, so I've done all these great things. I've done all these good things, and I still feel like crap, and I still hate everything. So how am I going to change this? And I remember thinking, it's my daughters. Like, if I want to live a better life, I'm going to have to focus on the fact that what do I want for them? And that's when I went back to thinking about that comment that my ex-wife had made. And that's when I realized that if I did something, if I did kill myself, right, my daughters would have nobody to help them. They'd have nobody to change their life. They'd have nobody to guide them. And so at that point in my life, I made the decision that I would be more successful than anybody could ever even imagine. And I made the decision that nobody would ever hold me back from doing anything. And about 2 months, 3 months later, I would say, everything just kind of started changing for me. And then we started doing videos every day. And I mean, it's just like one thing after another. And now, I mean, here I am now, where we've got a radio show on Bloomberg 5 days a week live. We've got 35 chapters with over 12,000 people, and we're in 16 states. I've got 58 people on this webinar listening to what I'm saying right now, and I remember having zero. I remember doing webinars for nobody, and I just kept doing them. I just kept talking and doing them and talking and doing them, and now we're going to be going up to Miss California, and we're going to be airing and broadcasting from there. I'm probably going to have. I mean, when you start looking at life differently and you start realizing that you can do whatever you want, life starts changing for you. And that's pretty amazing. And so that kind of takes me into number 3, which is values. You've got to make sure that you're going in the same direction, right? And this is one of the things I said, you don't want to be a pastor and investing in a strip club. It's not going to work out well, right? You've got to make sure that whatever you're doing from your heart. A lot of times I hear, when are you going to start? Or we give away a lot of stuff, man. We just do. I don't charge for hardly anything. I just don't. I didn't want to. And I've had people tell me, that's the wrong decision. You should go this. You should have people value your time, this and that. But I think people do value my time. And the reality is, if they don't, I shut it down quick. I don't sit there and wait on the phone, and you know what I mean? Like, I got too many things going on to sit there and wait on hold. My God, I don't even wait on like for Time Warner. I have other people, my wife or whatever, call and handle that stuff. Because for me, life is short, and you've got to take every moment and make the most out of it. So for me, doing webinars, that's me making the most. When I could talk to 55 people at the same time, that's much more effective for me than just talking to one. And not that talking to one is bad, but I want to be able to leverage information. And if you have that question, they probably have that question too. So let's work it in, and everybody could learn. But your values, your belief, and your passion, those are all your internals. Those are all inside. You have total availability to create and to change those. All right. Now, once we step outside of that, once we start getting into our next chapter, right? Once we get into, let's go. There we go. Once we get into chapter 4, Now we're creating strategies, right? And strategies are going to involve other people. And at that point, now you're going to have less control. All right. Now you're going to have to start believing in people. And that's where finding amazing people to surround yourself with comes in. Strategies, look, you don't need to be the expert at it, but you need to put somebody that is right next to you. I don't have to be a construction expert. I don't want to be. I mean, I don't want to have to go back and do 20 years of construction so that I can be on the same par as Scott or Omar, right? I don't want to do that. So that's why I put brilliant people around me like that. I don't want to have to learn notes. So that's why we put people like Eddie Speed, Mark Gold around us. That's why Ivan is actually learning that facet of it though, because he does like that, right? So it's about putting people in the right spot, letting them do what they love to do. Because when somebody loves doing it, they'll work harder and faster and more efficient than anyone else. When somebody just, whatever, I'll do it, they're never going to put everything into it because they don't really care. They don't have a passion for it. Find people for a passion. The things that you aren't good at, find people that have a passion for doing those things and partner up with them. Get connected with them. Learn from them. All right. Chapter 5, living with consistency. This one, again, I don't know. Here, let me.
Winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all the time thing. You don't win once in a while, and you don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit.
Oh my gosh, man. Come on. That sucked. All right. I meant to do something else that I could have. See, it should have gone off a little bit differently. Hopefully I'll be able to do that one more time today, and then I'll show you what I was talking about. So, living with consistency. It's all good to be hyped up for a day, for a week, okay? But what typically happens is you get all excited, and as soon as something starts to get difficult, you're off, right? You go on to something else that's easy and exciting. We have such this mentality of shiny object syndrome, and we're moving from here to here to here to here to here to here. And what you need to do is focus on one. Focus. What does focus mean? Follow one course until complete, until successful. Focus. Follow one course until successful. Focus. It's time to start focusing, guys. Chapter 7, networking to connections, right? Man, I'm going to tell you right now, Icon Builder, that was an awesome event that I went to. They're going to have another one coming up in a few weeks, I believe. I'll find out the information. But that one was incredible. I met so many great people, including the next Miss California I met there. I met Bill Allen from the movie Rad there. I met Roger Shalaman, who's going to be on the show this coming week, who is the founder of the Winner's Circle, a huge mastermind network that has all the big gurus actually go to it. So there was so many amazing people there that it's all about networking. You're never going to meet them just on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook will be a great introduction, but if you're living behind your keyboard on Facebook and thinking that you're going to be some master whatever, you're absolutely wrong. You're never going to be as much as you could be if you get out from behind that and out and meet people, network, physically meet them. I'm going to tell you right now, when you actually meet somebody, touch their hand and shake their hand, the amount of leverage that you will get off of that will be insane. The trust factor that comes when they actually met you, right? So make sure that you're getting out to different events, all kinds of events. Doesn't have to be just real estate. It can be anything. But get out to different events and get engaged. Meet people. And here's something, I know a lot of times people get embarrassed, right? So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to a networking event, but I don't, Pete, look, I'm embarrassed. I feel embarrassed when I meet people that I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know this. I don't know that, right? All these different things. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to work on creating a persona. All right. Create, Pete 2.0, right? And so Pete 2.0 is the guy that goes to networking events and loves it. Pete 2.0 is the guy that will go up to anybody and talk to him. And you start to create this persona and talk about him in third person and really build him up so that the next time you go to an event, you put on that persona. You put on that persona, right? You're Pete 2.0 or you're Michael 2.0 right now. You're Lupe 2.0, right? Lupe 2.0 is rolling in, and now Lupe 2.0 isn't afraid of anybody. They'll talk to anybody. Hey, how you doing? This is what I do. This is what I want to do. Da 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 da. And you're not afraid because it's not Lupe. It's Lupe 2.0, right? So this person isn't going to be afraid. Now, where Lupe may have been afraid, Lupe 2.0, not afraid. And the moment you leave the event, you can turn right back into your old self. You can turn right back into that shy person. That's okay. But start to build a persona that will make you different. It will make you grow. It will make you become the person that you want to be. Look, it's so easy every day to make decisions. You get to make 100 of them every day, thousands of them every day. Start making decisions and choices that take you in the direction you want to be. The reason that you aren't the person that you want to become right now and you don't have all the things that that person would have is because you haven't become that person. And I know this sounds so confusing, right? Well, what do you mean? How do I become the person I want to become if I'm not that person yet? I get it. It's a dichotomy, right? It's how do you do this if you've never done it? You've got to start making decisions. Start building that 2.0. That 2.0 is the next level of you, right? So Michael 2.0 is, here's Michael 2.0. Michael 2.0 is the version of Michael that he wants. Well, what are some of the things that Michael 2.0 would do, right? And you could ask, okay, so what would Michael 2.0 do in this situation? Well, Michael 2.0 would do this because we really typically know what we want out of life, right? We know how we want to respond. We know how we want to react. Doesn't mean that we do it. We know how we want to. Look, I want to be, when anybody does something to me, I don't get upset. I relax. I say I understand and I move forward. Love to, right? Something bad happens. You're like, what the? And you're freaking out. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be relaxed. Okay. So this is how you start to play this game. Next time something bad happens, before you react, you go, what would Michael 2.0 do right now? Well, Michael 2.0 would do this. Well, I don't want to do that because I'm really pissed. Okay, but what would Michael 2.0 do? He would do this. Okay, well, do you really want to be Michael 2.0 or do you just want to talk about it? Well, no, I really want to be that. Then start making decisions that he would make. Start making choices that 2.0 version of yourself would make. That's how easy life is to start changing. You start making different choices to get different results. It's that simple. It's that simple. Look, 2 plus 2 is 2. Period. It's 2. This one, or I'm sorry, wow, that was horrible. 1 plus 1 is 2. It's always going to be 2. 1 plus 1 is always going to be 2. If you want a different result, put in a different variable. Now, 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. So if you want different results, start putting in different criteria. Start putting in different numbers. Start putting in different tasks. Start doing things differently. Change up the recipe. Change up the way that you make it. Change all that stuff up, right? Because does it necessarily mean that you're saying the wrong things all the time? No. What you could be saying is right. Just the way that you're saying it isn't right, right? Because you could say, man, seriously, I love you. I mean, really. And it's like, okay, well, doesn't feel like love, right? Or you could say something like, man, I just want to kill you right now. And again, it doesn't mix. It doesn't make sense, right? The words don't go with the dialogue or don't go with the intent. Okay. So make sure that when you're doing things, choices, just because 2.0 version of yourself would say it's okay, doesn't mean you go, yeah, okay, it's okay then. Well, what? That was the 2.0 version of myself. He was going to say it was okay, so I just said it was okay. No, the 2.0 version of yourself wouldn't have said it like that, though. The 2.0 version of yourself would have said, hey, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're going to go ahead. I'm looking at the end result. I'm focused on the outcome because the 2.0 version of myself focuses on the outcome. They don't focus on the environment. They don't focus on the battle, right? They focus on the war. So stop when you get home. For instance, here's another great tip. Okay, let's say every night when you come home from work, let's say that you constantly get in an argument with your spouse, right? Does anybody here feel that way ever? I know that I was telling Michael this story the other day. I used to travel a lot, and I still travel quite a bit, but not nearly as. I mean, I used to literally travel every single week I was gone. And so when I would come back, because of the way I was treated by the company I was working for at the time, I hated the guy I was working for. I mean, absolutely hated him. The guy was just a tool, man. And the fact is, I needed the job at the time, so I had to do this. And so I was traveling, and when I would come back, I'd be in such a bad mood, and then the first person I'd see would be Shannon. And so guess what started happening? As the more I started traveling and I'd come back, I'd see her, I'd be angry, I'd see her, I'd be angry. And then all of a sudden, it wouldn't even matter. Like I'd see her and I'd start to get angry. I'd start to get pissed. I'd start to get in a bad mood. And I'm sharing this with you because I think a lot of us feel that way. And a lot of us go through this thing. And what I learned that from Tony Robbins. It was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. That's exactly what I'm doing. And so I had to start changing it, intentionally changing it. That's why I'm bringing this up. Because I had to literally, every time I'd get back on the plane, on the way home, I'd be gearing my, man, this is going to be so awesome when I see Shannon today. It's going to be so awesome when I see Shannon today. I get off the plane, it'd be so awesome when I see Shannon today. You know what? Even if she's late, I don't care. Even if she's, still on I-5, I don't care. It's all good. I'm going to be, and I had to literally work like that to get out of that circle, to get out of that repetitive motion. And so I'm asking you guys right now, what are you guys repeating to yourself over and over and over again that's causing you to fail? What are you guys, think about it right now. Write it up over here. What are you guys consistently repeating to yourself that is causing you guys to fail? And then I'll read a couple of them once you guys put that up. Chapter 8 is about giving back. All right. You've got to give back. If you want to keep success, you've got to start giving back. The moment we actually figured that out, we created Coast to Coast RIA. And we basically became a catch-all. We wanted to help everybody in real estate. Anybody that was in real estate that went through the big trainings, that paid the 30 grand, and then came back and went, holy crap, I have no idea what to do now. We wanted to help them. And so we created Coast to Coast RIA as a catch-all. And that's why in the last year and a half, almost 2 years now, oh my gosh, man, in 3 months, it'll be 2 years ago that we started Coast to Coast. And so we started that though, because we wanted to impact people. We wanted to create more opportunities. We wanted to create more solutions. And with that being said, today it's all about chapter 9. It's all about putting it all together. All right. And I love this one, man. Change your brain to embrace the change. Look, pain is temporary. Listen to what I'm saying. Pain is temporary. When we go and do some kind of change, it's painful. It's painful because of the unknown. But listen to me. Pain is temporary. What does that mean? That means, Scott Travis, you want to quit chewing? Pain is temporary. The pain that you're going through right now, it will subside and something else will take its place. If you do nothing, however, it will last forever. Meaning, you've got to work through it. Look, you're going to end up going through the pain. If you have to quit chewing, if you have to quit tobacco, if you have to quit whatever, right? Let's just use tobacco though, because I like that one. Tobacco will kill you. We know that. We know that tobacco will kill us, but we're still, right? Putting that in there thing. Come on now. We're still smoking, even though we know it will kill us. So why is it that we don't change? Why do we not quit smoking or quit chewing? Why don't we just quit tobacco? I mean, if you know it's going to kill you, why wouldn't you do that? It's because of the pain involved. It's because you don't know what to do. You're addicted to this thing, right? So you've got this need and it's like, man, all you can do is think about that, right? But think about this. Are there ever days where you go 4 or 5 hours without chewing or smoking? Absolutely. Because your mind is all, hammered around doing something. You're building something and you're right in the middle of it and you just don't end up doing it. So the reality is when you came out of your mother's womb, you weren't addicted to anything. No alcohol, no tobacco, none of it. So we know that our body will function without it. We know our body will function better without it. We know that is a fact. But it's getting past that hard part. It's getting past that pain. And when I realized that pain is temporary, it may last a day, a week, a month, or a year, but eventually something else would subside, but eventually it would subside and something else would take its place. If I did nothing, however, it would last forever. That's when I realized I need to stop now. Because me stopping now or stopping in 10 years, which one do you think is harder? Is it going to be harder for me to stop in 10 years when I'm even more addicted to it or less? It's going to be more. So what the hell am I doing? I'm pushing this off for later for it to be more difficult and to have a higher chance of it killing me? That's just nuts. That's nuts. So I don't want to run away from something. I want to run to something. So what am I going to run to? I'm going to run to change. I'm going to run to this great journey that I'm going to get to go through. I'm going to start rewording it. I'm going to start refocusing the way that I look at the process. I'm going to look at it differently. I'm going to look at it that, man, the worse that this gets, the better story I have. The more challenging this is, the better I can teach somebody else, right? The more I'll go through so that I can relate my experience and impact somebody else, that I can literally touch somebody else. And so for me, I mean, I just love this picture too. Like, how awesome is that picture, man? For real, right? Thing is ridiculous. Change your brain, embrace the change. Because you don't want to get all these rods and things stuck into your head so that you can start breathing or eating or I don't know what would happen to you. But if you started to change, right? Maybe that's Neo. If you started to change and you started to like the way that you were feeling, wouldn't you do it more? If you know that this would kill you, if we know that it's not a rational thing, don't we then have to become irrational to make it make sense? That's why I use weird pictures like this. That's why I make sounds. That's why I do all of this. Because sometimes in order to reach your irrational state, I have to be irrational as well. I have to create that thing, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Because sometimes they don't know what they're talking about, right?
No.
I know. And so if I help them, then they're going to do better, correct?
Yes.
There we go. See, and what do you think about guns? There you go. So it's all about learning. It's about changing. It's about refocusing, resetting our brain, resetting what we think is normal and getting outside of that and getting into an environment that anything is possible. And I know I'm taking you around a loop, but it's because I want you to understand and grasp the fact that, look, you can do anything once you accept the fact that it requires change. And to change some of those bad things that we need to quit, that's not a bad thing. Quitting isn't always a bad thing, right? People say, well, quitters never win. No, sometimes they do. When you quit smoking, you win. Pretty easy. When you quit eating McDonald's, you win. When you quit drinking soda, you win. When you quit eating bad food, you win. Or junk food, you win. You're like, yeah, but I don't get that sugar spike. Absolutely. And you don't get the crash either. It doesn't turn into insulin and go right into fat storage. You're right. There's a lot of things that you don't get when you stop doing that. So realize your life is your life and you only get one of them. If your body is a temple, right? I remember hearing this. My body's a temple, so I got to treat it like that. And I remember as a kid going, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Who cares? I'll treat it however I want because I'm invincible. You know what I mean? But we're not. We're not. And the better you treat your body, the better it's going to treat you back. If you start eating healthier, you're going to start feeling better. When you feel better, you do better. When you do better, you make more money. When you make more money, you're happier. When you're happier, you live longer. Now, some of those things are true, and well, all of them are true, but they don't all have to apply to you, right? But the reality is when you are happier, you do better. When you are happier, you do live longer. When you are happier, you do have a better quality of life. Don't you like being happy more than you like being pissed off and irritated? I mean, and that might be a weird question, right? But there are people that actually feel better being in that. Why? Because they've been living there for so long. For so long, they've been all pissed off, all angry, that feels like home. It feels like comfort. It feels like that's where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be where I think the world is crashing, and I think everybody's out to get me, and I think this, and I think that, and I think this, and it's just like,
you suck.
That's right. You do suck. Shut up.
Shut up.
That's right. Stop thinking like that. Realize that your life is amazing. and go out and make something happen. And look, if you want to know how to do that even better, just go to the red light, green light. I came up with this mentoring somebody, and he was talking to me about, look, I have a girlfriend and I want this, and I have this, and I have this challenge, and I have this challenge. And I said, it's this easy. And this is when I made this up. I said, it's like red light, green light. He said, well, what do you mean? I said, it's as simple as red light, green light. What you guys do is you play in that yellow light forever. What do I mean by that? You guys have the thing like red light, green light is you go or you don't go, right? Perfect. Go, don't go. Yellow is, I don't know. Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Right? You're waffling. Okay. When you look at the fact that, hey, if I was going to quit smoking, right? I quit smoking. It becomes difficult. Okay, I'm smoking again. That's living in the yellow light. Quit smoking is I quit smoking. Boom, I quit smoking. It's like getting thrown onto an island with no cigarettes anywhere around. You're going to quit smoking. That's the only option, right? That's the only option is to quit smoking. Live your life by red light, green light for a while if you need to. Take your life up to the next level. Well, what is that going to do for me? That's going to do for me, you write your goals and red light, green light the rest of your day. Does it get you closer to your goal? Nope, done. Don't do it. Yeah, but that seems very rigid. Yeah, it's meant to be that way. Because a lot of times when we start doing something, we don't understand how to do it in moderation. So what we do is we just kind of do it and then stop doing it, and kind of do it and stop doing it. We haven't learned how to do it kind of, right? So if you can just stop, now, once you stopped, you would never want to moderate smoking again. I mean, there'd be no point once you stop smoking to start smoking again. But let's say you quit drinking soda. All right. If you say, well, I'm going to just start doing soda slower. Well, you're really going to start making reasons of why you can do it. What you've done is you've drawn a line in the sand that's movable. Okay. What this red light green does, it goes and sticks it. That line doesn't move anymore. Stop having a line that's movable. Once you can start justifying why you can do things, you'll find a way to justify a reason to do it. Well, I really want to do this because I'm hungry. I really want to eat this because I'm hungry, and that's the only thing that's around within a 2 arms reach, right? When around the block, you could go get healthier food. But because it's right here, you're going to justify why you have to eat here. So that's what I'm talking about. Go to a red light, green light process. Communicate your way to success by going, is this going to get me closer to my goal? Yes or no? No, don't do it. It's that simple. Again, it's not easy. It's just that simple. Okay. Now, this I love. Reality it's all about perspective. It's all about the way you look at things, right? Because this is crazy when you look at this picture. Here we've got how it's actually drawn or painted. And above, when you get in the right light, when you get in the right position, right? Boom. You see it written normal. So what does this really mean? It really means that the greatest optical illusion is that of separation. Right now, if you guys shut your eyes and I was standing here talking to you, if I sounded like I was in the same room, you'd never be able to tell if I was actually in the room or not. So why is it then that we always feel this pull, this whatever, right? Optical illusion. Visually, you don't need to be over there to see it. If you can see it in a picture, you can see it in person. As long as you're getting all the information, that's all that really matters. So stop looking at your life as you don't have it. You do have it. The greatest optical illusion is that of separation. You want $1 million in your account? It's there. You just have to create the environment in which it shows up. Meaning anything you want is right in front of you if you would just start getting it. Start going after it. It's there. It's not there for you, but there for them and there for her and him and everybody else. It's there for all of us. Success is right in front of you when you're ready to reach out and grab it. Now, it's going to look like hard work though. So you got to be willing to say if you actually want it or if you don't. All right. You've got to let go of the past to build your future. There's no way for you to keep moving forward if you're looking backwards, right? You're going to run into something. I mean, how could you drive if you were staring at a rearview mirror the whole way? You'd never be able to make it. So start looking forward and stop looking backwards. All right. The keys to success. I'm going to tell you right now, I think the keys to success, we've talked all about it. They're all the chapters in this book. It's about networking. It's about consistency. It's about all of these things wrapped in together. And success is like golf. It sucks as you're back up or your arm straight and you've got like 50 different things to think about. But as you keep doing it, they start to become more and more familiar. All right. And again, your comfort zone, look, it's going to be one here. Boom, you're going to have to break it. Comfort zone is normal again. Break it. It's normal again. Break it. You're going to keep breaking your comfort zone because as soon as you get comfortable, you've created a new comfort zone. So make sure that you guys are getting up and jumping ahead of that. Make sure that you're shattering your comfort zone every possible chance you get, and watch how your life starts to unfold. All right, so let's go on to the Q&A part here real quick. If you guys have any questions at all, you guys can go ahead and raise your hand, and I will unmute you so that you guys can ask. Man, I was hoping Hector was going to be on here too, because I was going to have him talk about the challenge. But okay, so let's see. Gil, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, man. How are you doing? What are some of the challenges that you're having right now?
I guess with time, yeah, pretty much just scheduling my day and keeping schedule.
Okay. What how is writing your goals down, is that helping you stay on schedule more or less?
No, it's helping me keep on schedule. It's just more of a keeping my time, because I have a certain time during the day where I have to go do my part-time job. So it's more like I have some free time in the morning. Let me work on this. And then when I come back, let me work on that. And sometimes I get lazy and I want to push things to the side, but I have to keep that thing scheduled so this way I know I have to work on it.
Now, when you're going through your days, right, during the week and stuff, you obviously want to change having your part-time job, right? And you want to just be doing real estate full-time. What are some of the steps that you're doing right now to ensure that happens by the end of the year?
I'm setting my marketing, so I'm doing different kind of marketing. I'm doing offline marketing with direct mail, door knocking, informing people of the referral program that I have, setting up flyers, and then I'm doing online marketing with building a website, working on some video marketing.
I met somebody this weekend on Friday that I think could help you out. His name is Rick, and he put together a software system for auctions. So I'll put you in contact with him, because I think maybe you could do some stuff with him and help him out. Even looking at properties out here that he could end up turning around and wholesaling, or we could maybe get into as well. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, awesome. Thank you.
You are very welcome. All right. Anybody else have anything that they would like to talk about real quick? I'm going to go ahead and Shakita, I'm unmuting you. Go ahead. How are you doing this morning or tonight?
I am doing great. Today is actually my day 21 of
It
the
is?
challenge. Yes. So Mike had asked me, how I felt about that, and I told him, I said, I feel really good, not just for the fact of completing the challenge, although that's a big part for me because, I was started and then stop it. So I feel really good about that, but it was like a mindset change, like really reprogramming my brain to think, just think more positive, and just know, just really believing that I could do it.
Are you doing round 2 now?
I am. I'm actually thinking about the Thinking to Succeed.
Yeah.
I think that was, that's one of the, to go a little bit
Thinking to
deeper.
Succeed project. So that is a
Yes.
4-phase project. It's not necessarily a month. It's a phase. So it could take you 2 or 3 months to get through that phase, or it could take you 2 weeks. Well, not 2 weeks. It'd take you a minimum of 30 days to get through it.
Okay.
But each phase of that, the first phase is about the mind. The second phase is on the body. The third phase is on humanity or the soul. And then the fourth phase is all about finances. And through this project, you're also going to be writing an ebook. building a brand, and quite a few different things. So yeah, I could definitely talk to you about it offline, or you can have whoever was talking to you. I'm sure probably somebody reached out to you. We can talk to you more about it though.
Okay.
But it's, yeah, that for me, the project, the Thing to Succeed project is probably going to be the thing that I will end up being known for as time goes on, because what we're building there is absolutely insane. From the people that I'm getting involved in it, to give back to the different types of information and solutions and stuff that we're going to be providing through it as well. But it's really about, the Thinking to Succeed project is all about branding yourself. It's about thinking to succeed, right? And if you want to succeed, people got to know who you are. You've got to have a brand. You've got to be an expert. If you're going to be successful, you have to be an expert at something, right? Nobody's successful for not being good at anything. They've got to be really good at something. And so the Thing to Succeed project is all about how to get you good at whatever it is that you want to do. And then it's how to make you an expert in that field, and how to really promote who you are, so that you start getting more opportunities where you want them, right? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. I actually started going to networking events in my city, which was also completely out of my comfort zone. I just wouldn't go to anything social. It was always too much. My excuse was it was always too much to get prepared to do it, and I didn't want to talk to people. So I did it.
So did my section about going to 2.0, did that help you out a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Here's the other thing I wanted to share with you. Did you listen to Friday's radio show?
No, I didn't hear Fridays.
Okay, so it's on the website right now. Go and check that out. Brian Ellis, Ivan drove from Camarillo down to San Diego on Thursday to go talk with Brian Ellis for a couple hours. Well, it's a 3.5 hour drive for Ivan one way. And he only met with him for 2 hours, and then a 3.5 hour drive back. And the impact that doing things like that can have are insane. And listen to the show and hear what Brian's response was when I shared that information with him. And I think the reason I'm saying that is because you said you were afraid to get out and network, but I'm going to tell you right now, the only way that you're going to really make an impact is by getting out and networking. Going out with David Lang on a sailboat last weekend, it was crazy because I met 3 amazing people that all could have impacts in what I do in significant ways. And if I would have just met them even in an email, it wouldn't have been the same as them actually seeing me and meeting me, and you know what I mean, and us getting to experience who each other were, all of us. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes, absolutely.
So find more marketing, and don't just go, if they're real estate, great. If there's something else, great. I mean, look for where do you live, by the way?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay. So look for, like women entrepreneurs, look for young entrepreneurs, look for real estate, look for anything that could connect you with more people. Right. And the reason I said women is because you could go to a regular networking event, and then you could also go to one that just caters to women, because that's going to have a whole different group of people there that you'd never see at the other one, right? And the other one has men and women, but the type of women that will go to a women-only event, right? If that's the only place they'll go, you'll never meet them at a mixed event. So, that's the other reason why I wanted to put Friday's webinar on, because it's going to be women only. So it allows me to offer something that normally you don't see that many places. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
Are you excited about that a little bit?
I'm very excited.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
No. I'm very excited.
Okay. All right. If anybody else has any questions, go ahead and raise your hand over here on the right side. But let's see, one more. Mike Jensen. What's up, Mike? Is your mic not working? That's funny. All right. Apparently his mic is not working. I don't know why I saw his hand. Okay. So if you guys have questions, though, that I haven't addressed, or you have other questions and you don't want to be called on, you can go ahead and put them down there in the questions bar. Besides that, I'm going to go ahead and move on, go past this. Let's see, what do we got going on? So we've got the calendar tab on our website. This is our website. If you go check it out, we've got the calendar tab here. It'll tell you who's going to be on. So like Experts Corner has different guests on, right? So if you want to know who's going to be on the Experts Corner any day, any week, you can go on the calendar. Our new Friday webinar, we'll have guests on that as well. So you'll be able to go on this for our radio show. You can go on this for if we're going to be at a live event. You can go on this. All of our stuff will be on that calendar tab. Webinars, these are all the webinars you can sign up for. The one on Friday night is not set up yet, so that will not be up till probably tomorrow or Tuesday. I'll end up having that webinar up and available to sign up for. Let's see, the podcast, all of our old podcasts or anything you can check out in that pull down tab. That is our message line. So if you have any questions for us, 888-570-7464. That's 888-570-7464. Or you can call us on a live line that works Monday through Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. at 760-931-1604. At 760-931-1604. Connect with us. You can go ahead and click that tab and it'll take you to all the different Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all that. You can go on there and connect with everybody. We have a play tab right here as well that allows you to Monday through Friday, just go to c2crea.com right there at the top, investing coast to coast, push play. You're all good. You'll hear it right away. And that works on a phone, tablet, computer, anything. So we're broadcast around the world on the internet. That is our motivational video of the day. That is our radio show of the day. And that is where you can download my ebook. It is that simple. All right, let me see. I believe I worked on this last night, but I think Marina might not actually be the Wednesday guest, but we'll see what's going to happen here. So Monday is you for our guest on the radio show. Scott Travis will also be making an appearance on there. Monday night, 6 p.m., Bird Dogging Opportunities with Scott Travis. Tuesday, we are going to have Roger Shalom on, who is with Winner Circle, that mastermind group. And then Experts Corner will be that night, and that is going to be with Candace Duran. Wednesday during the day on the radio show, it's either going to be Marina and Sarah, who is going up for some stuff out Miss California, or it's going to be somebody else, and I don't remember what their name is, so I'll stop talking about that. Wednesday night, there is no meeting this Wednesday, so that is cleared out. Thursday will be Candace and Omar will be on the show. That night, Money Matters with Ivan Oberon. Then the next day this is not correct. It's not going to be the Note Symposium. I am not sure. Friday's call, I'm not sure who's going to be on, but we'll find that all out. So here's our Bird Dogging Opportunities Experts Corner with Pete ASMUS on Tuesdays, right into Money Matters on Wednesdays. And here's our new one on Friday nights, Women, Entrepreneurs, and Real Estate with Candace Duran, bringing the challenges and the solutions right to you. So you can go on to c2crea.com/webinars, and that will be ready. You can also, or it'll be ready should be by Tuesday. Okay, here is our Allergic to Average Radio, Investing Coast to Coast with Pete ASMUS and Ivan Oberon. Every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. You can go and log in at c2crea.com/live, and you'll be taken right to our show. You can call in at 760-931-1604, or you can message us at 888-570-7464. My voice is really starting to go right now. So you can also tweet your questions and add the hashtag C2CREIA. At the end of the day, though, you got to go make something happen. So Successful People Read. This is my book, first book that I wrote, working on my second book right now. You can go to forceyourdreams.com to download that. And that is our page, or that is our challenge. You guys can sign up for right there, c2crea.com/21-day challenge. Super easy to go find it. So that is my show, and I am sticking to it. Anybody have any other questions here real quick before I go? If not, we are going to go ahead. All right, Michael Wetterman coming out of the gates. What's up, Michael?
Hey, Pete, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Awesome. Just want to thank you for yesterday. Something I really needed that, and I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, man. What happened
um,
yesterday?
um, I had a good day yesterday. I had a very, very kind of good day, and I did what you said about the dry eraser and the dry.
Oh man, that's right. Okay, so let's talk. Why did we talk yesterday? What were we talking? I called you, right?
Right.
Okay, and what were we talking about?
We were more or less, talking, just kind of moving forward and keep. We were working about phase 3 and thinking to succeed.
Right.
That's one of the things that we wanted to do, and we wanted to try some things out. One, I was overwhelmed, so you helped me out a lot there. Made me feel, gave me a little confidence boost yesterday.
Made you feel good about being overwhelmed, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know, like I said, I didn't deviate. So
right, and that was awesome, man. Very, very good. So what happened with the dry erase? Tell everybody what I asked you to do, and then tell me what happened.
He asked me to basically write that for my wife this morning, and I really, she saw it this morning, and she thanked me, and she, I love her to death, and I wanted her to know that, and she gave me a nice smile and said, "I love you more."
So what I asked Michael to do, if it's hard for you guys to hear it all, is he had talked about we in the Thinking to Succeed project, one of the things that we have is a dry erase project. And what that is you get a dry erase pen and you go and you write on the bathroom mirror something to your spouse, right? Like something like "I love you" or "you're the best" or da 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 da. And so I asked Michael, I said, "Hey, have you tried that?" And he's like, no, my wife would lose her mind if I wrote on the mirror. And I'm like, really? Let's just try this. Let's see if she actually kills you in your sleep when you wake up this morning. And tonight, when she goes to bed, just go in there and I want you to write something specific to her on her side of the mirror so that she can see it. And then just tell me what happens. And if she freaks out on you, I'll never ask you to do anything like this again. And so what did you write?
Basically, I said, thank you for supporting me and, for all that you do and for how you support me. And I love you.
Oh, that's right. We were doing this because the other thing that you wanted out of this was you wanted to have some time to start meditating at night. And what you were afraid of is if you had 10 minutes to meditate, your wife would have to take your son, and you didn't want to ask her and have that be a conflict. So we went, hey, what about if we address this by putting it on the mirror and you say, hey, thank you for supporting me. You're an amazing, wife, da, 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 I love you. And so that's what you did. And that way it would allow you the opportunity to be able to meditate to bring more happiness to your family, right?
Correct. Yeah.
How did that work? Did you ask for some time to do that?
Not really, not yet. I mean, but like I said, it was just the initial thing that we wanted to do together. You and I, it was that experiment that we wanted to try and get it going. And then, that's the next phase. So we're going to try different things, and like I said, even today, I started brainstorming on some of the things that you were talking about. I got some things down on paper, so we're starting that direction. Like I want to make it my own, like you said. So
well, and that's the power of it. Is the whole idea of the challenge of the Thinking to Succeed project, of all of it, is to take everybody's life to the next level. There's no way for me to do this by myself. It takes an army to change the world. And, the reality is I'm only going to be able to touch and talk to so many people. So I want people to be able to come on and change their lives, be able to come on and start seeing things differently and focusing differently and really reaching a different level. And so that's what the Thinking to Succeed project and the 21-day challenge is all about. The Thinking to Succeed project is a little bit, I mean, it's only a couple $100, but the 21-day challenge, guys, is absolutely free. You can do that all day long, every day. We're actually coming out with a round two as well, with a round 2 as well. The Thinking to Succeed project obviously goes way more in depth than the challenge does. The challenge is just really about you writing out your goals. The Thinking to Succeed project is more about creating your brand and really, really attacking everything that you do and taking it up to a level of 10 or higher. I mean, just by a multiple. So
hey, Pete,
anyways, yes.
Pete, I have one more question for you. And the reason I kind of raised my hand is I noticed some people on the challenge kind of quit after like 3 to 5 days. And one of them was somebody that I brought into the challenge. And I was wondering, what should we do? Should we approach? How can we get these people back? How can we go to them and make them feel comfortable and try to get them to try it again? What would you suggest?
Well, the only reason anybody would have quit doing it is if they just ran out of time and they didn't really understand it. I think the moment people really understand what it's going to do and how it works, it catapults them forward, right? But the same time, like I tell everybody on here, you've got to have your own self-worth too, right? You have to find value within yourself. Your word has to be worth something in order for you to give it and have it. You know what I mean? Like if you would make a deal with yourself, it's got to be valuable. And if they don't really care if they make a 21-day challenge or not, and they're just probably not into it or they don't understand it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But what would you suggest? Let's say I want to go approach, at least to say, listen, I want to try to get them to come back. I want to get them to finish what they started because I think it's good for them, just to finish that. What could I do? What can I go and how can I approach a person? What would you suggest? How to approach them?
I would probably write them and say, hey, make it fun. I would approach them and say, what could I do to get you involved with this challenge? Because I'm seeing how it's changing my life and I want it to change your life too. I want you to understand what it does. So what could I do to make this more fun? What about if we both wrote them and we had to have them up by 9 o'clock in the morning every morning, and I'll comment on yours and you comment on mine, and you start to bring them in and involve them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And maybe start tagging them in yours so that they can see what you're doing, right?
Right.
And just do something like that. I mean, for me, again, it's you want to relate to them. This challenge, it's about writing your goals. There's nobody on earth that this won't help. I mean, nobody. So the fact is, it's going to work for every single person. When you write your goals down, you focus on them more. When you focus on them more, you have a much higher probability of attaining them. When you don't think about them, out of sight, out of mind. So I would say bring him in. What could I do? Involve him and make it fun. Make it fun by maybe say, hey, if you can do this do you live by him?
Yeah, actually, yes.
So say if you do it for a week straight, I'll take you to coffee every week. You do it for a week straight.
Okay.
Right. So then all you got to do is that only costs you 3 coffees, and that will actually impact their life in a better way. And then go every week at the end. I'll take you out for coffee and we'll talk about what you went through. Right. And then start finding out, because maybe they stopped because they felt like nobody cared. Maybe they stopped because they felt like nobody was listening. Nobody was paying attention to them.
Yep. Okay. That's a great idea. I think I'll try that.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Pete.
You got it, man. Yep. All right. Man, look at that. You put your own hand down. Perfect. Okay, guys, thank you so much. If nobody else has any questions, then we are good to go. It doesn't look like anybody has typed anything else either. So perfect. All right, guys, thank you so much.